Hey everybody, it's Emily the Crazy Worm Lady. I am here today with the Urban Worm Bag. This is version 1 that has our blue worms and European night crawlers. And I want to take a peek in here, see how they were doing. We're almost ready for a harvest, so I'm eager to see what it's looking like in here. I wonder if we've got some hungry guys in here. Let me get this lid peeled back. I'm going to try to bring you guys along. I don't know if I can do this without knocking stuff over. Let's see. Carefully. There's some condensation here on the lid, but it doesn't look terrible. Surprised I didn't knock anything over. Alright. It's a winner in my book. Alright, so we've got worms and springtails kind of all along the edges here. But they look good, and if you look closely, there's worms across the top of the bedding here, which is a benefit to these CFTs. There's no light getting in, so they can really work the material, even the material all the way up at the top. So this is where we fed last week, if I do recall. So I'm going to peel it back and take a look, see how the worms did. This is a piece of rag, it looks like. I'm seeing some of the bedding I added. I'm seeing the grape stems. I'm not seeing a ton of worms though. So I'm wondering if they're going through it faster than I can get to them, which it's fine if that's the case. I just need to up the amount of food I'm giving them. So we'll just kind of turn this up a bit, and you can still see we have the European night crawlers in here. They're looking well, and of course the blue worms are smaller and skinnier to try to spot. This is the front up here. Again, there's a lot more European night crawlers up at the top today. But you can see over here, I'm not going very deep at all. And the quality of the castings down here, that's a blue worm right there. But the quality of the castings is absolutely perfect. It feels really condensed when I dig into it. Then I bring it up to the surface, and it's literally just flaking apart in my hands. And that's exactly what we want. Just looks perfect. So I'm going to loosely mix this up just the top few inches. And I think we're going to give a much bigger feeding today. Come back in this corner. I think this was 2 weeks ago, if I recall, the left back corner. Peel that back and look, nothing but castings. It's exactly what we like. I'm thinking this next harvest is going to be even better than my first, and hopefully, since I've kind of figured out the system, it's just going to keep getting better from there. But I mean, everywhere I'm digging, a few inches down, still have some worms, melon skins. Yeah, they ate everything. The worms are still active even in the top layers here, but they're going through the food, so it's just pretty much bedding that's left in here right now. So I think we're going to do a real generous feeding, and it's very water rich, which has me a little bit nervous because the compost in here is such like a perfect consistency. I'm going to really need to be careful that I add enough bedding so that we don't end up getting it too muddy in here. But yeah, there's absolutely no food to speak of. I feel like I mixed these top few inches up real well. So let's top this entire bin off with, I don't know, a few inches of some dry bedding, and then we're going to give them a nice large feeding. Alright, so that's about 3/4 of a basket worth of shredded newspaper. This is my my dry mix I've been using. Grit, nutrients, neem cake, all that good stuff in there. Let's see. So I'll show you guys. Not super thick layer, but it's very dry. And I'm getting a cloud of smoke from the diatomaceous earth, I think. Ugh. Okay. So now I'm going to get this food over here. It's primarily coffee grounds and some fruit mixed in. So, like I said, that's very wet. So I'm going to add all that in here. I might just kind of lightly sprinkle the entire surface so it can evenly distribute the moisture. And then we'll just do some loosely shredded paper on top like I'm doing in my other urban worm bag. That seems to be working well, and then you get a lot of really cool top feeding going on. So let me grab that food and we'll do that. So I wasn't joking when I said it was primarily coffee grounds. I got a big score at Starbucks, and I'm a little bit low on thawed out scraps, so I figured why not. But there is some fruit underneath of this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to play this balancing game. Let me pull a little chair next to me so I don't have to balance this and risk pouring all of that liquid that's in the bottom there into the bin. Nothing but fancy setups for me, guys. A light, a step stool, my food. Okay, so I'm going to add some of these coffee grounds here. There's filters in here as well. If you pick up coffee from Starbucks, they kind of give you the whole bit. Try to kind of loosely mix this up. Coffee grounds, they'll heat up a little bit and then they'll dry out. So it's kind of a balancing game with them as far as that's concerned. I'm going to try to get some fruit in here as well. The fruit, of course, is all the way at the bottom. Apple core, it looks like. I feel some grapes. I'll grab some of these grapes as well. Little piece of a banana peel. And I think I'm going to have to be checking in on this a little bit more frequently and maybe feed twice a week if necessary. But just so we don't release too much moisture in here all at once and end up with problematic temperatures and moisture in here. So I know I need to feed a lot more than that. I'm just nervous about it, guys. Nervous. So I'm going to get another nice big handful of coffee. And I think that's all I'm going to feed in here today. So, giant handful of coffee here. These huge filters that Starbucks uses for their ginormous coffee makers. So this is, you know, primarily this really wet material, but there is some fruit. We'll leave the fruit kind of right in the middle. Just going to kind of spread this stuff out. Maybe loosely mix some of this dry bedding around it to absorb the moisture. And then I was thinking about adding some loose bedding on top, but I think actually, because I got scared and didn't feed as aggressively as I wanted to, that should probably be enough bedding. I don't want to overbed this and then have trouble getting them to finish composting as they move up. So we're going to leave it just like this, give it another week. I'll peek in the middle of the week, and if we need to do an update then, I will do it. Otherwise, we'll be back in a week for an update, so let me know what you think. Drop those comments below, like this video, and subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I'll be back with you guys real soon for an update.